lovelies, welcome back to my channel. I'm not gonna lie, this is the second time I filmed this because the first time I filmed it, a lot has happened regarding what I've had done, shall I say, and I just thought I needed to do it again and obviously like fill you in because I didn't want to miss out on what had happened because something quite not bad happened, but like I just want to let you guys know and give you the best insight that I can give you to what I've had done. If you're new here, you might not have watched me before, but hello, my name is Chloe and I've recently had a breast uplift, and that is why I'm here talking today, explaining why I had it done and basically just having a bit of a story time with you guys and basically just telling you everything that you need to know. So obviously if you're watching this video, then you might be thinking about getting this procedure, or you might just be here to say hello. So but either way, I'm just going to dish it all out for you guys and you can take what resonates, and if you have any questions whatsoever about it or you need some advice or anything like that, then definitely feel free to drop it in the comments or even DM me over on Instagram and I will reply as best as I can. But other than that, I'm just going to stop rambling on. I don't know if you can tell as well, like I'm not feeling the best. I've actually been really poorly for about a week, and I think it's probably down to what's happened regarding my boobs. I think my immune system's been pretty weak, so that is something to figure out. Wow, that is something to encounter. But I will obviously talk about a bit, can't even get my words out, but obviously I will talk a little bit about that more a bit later on in the video. For now, I'm going to take it right back to the beginning and just basically say why have I had this surgery. If you see me looking down, I've actually got some notes because I just don't want to miss out anything and yeah, get everything out as best as I can. And I'm really good for going on tangents, so this little script here is to help me not go on a tangent. Going on a tangent about a script right now, it's just me, can't help it. I'm just going to go straight back to the beginning and just explain why I've had this, because I think a lot of people are a bit like, I'm so young and I know I'm very young, I'm only 22, and I've gone a procedure that I feel like most people would have when they've had kids and so on and so on. And I think a lot of people probably think like her boobs couldn't have been that bad, like how, like, you know, there's just a lot of questions as to why I've had it done. And I'm completely open. I was open a bit more towards when I knew I was getting the procedure, and I'm a bit more open now. But take a year ago or anything like that, like my boobs, they always have just been the biggest insecurity of mine, and I've never had the perkiest boobs. Even when I was like a lot heavier, when I weighed about 5 stone heavier, I used to be like 15 stone. Anyone who knows me personally will know that I've had lost a lot of weight, but if you don't know me at all, then I have lost a lot of weight, and that is probably one of the reasons I did go for this surgery as well. But prior to that, I didn't have the best boobs in the world, I must say. They were a lot fuller because obviously I was a lot bigger, but they just still weren't, you know, I was not happy with them. I can't really explain them. I would put a picture up and cover obviously the nipples, but I did that for my thumbnail and I got done for like nudity, so I don't know how I'm gonna try and explain how bad these were, but they were just really, really saggy, and the nipple was kind of at the lowest volume of the boob, so my nipples were not here, they were like at the bottom. And all I can say is like, or explain it as, is it sounds really bad, and my boyfriend always laughs when I say it, he's like, shut up Chloe, but you know what SpongeBob SquarePants, you know, Squidward, do you know his nose? That was kind of like how I used to envision my boobs. That's just how they were. I might have been going to the extent on that, and it probably weren't that bad, but in my eyes it really was bad. And I was just never happy with them. And I've been around people who have just had like the perkiest boobs, and you know, all my friends could wear these tops that I could never ever wear, and it took a toll after a while. And don't get me wrong, it wasn't something that I thought about every single day, and I wasn't, you know, it just like hit me in waves, I would say. It's always been an insecurity of mine, and it took me forever and ever in my relationship to show my boobs. And then even then I was never comfortable with having you know, like sex or anything with having my bra off, and I was just not comfortable in my body. It got worse before it got better. So I lost a lot of weight, and I lost about 5.5 stone, and that meant that my boobs just, wow, they they were just skin, and I can't even, like, I feel like people don't believe me, but there was just a lot of skin there, and I was just like, what am I going to do about this? So it just kept going on, and it was a bit of a whirlwind for about my whole life. It's like, since I ever had boobs, I would say. But more, I say, about 2 years ago, 3 years ago, when I lost all the weight, they just got a lot of skin there, and I just needed to get it sorted. So that's when I took the decision. I did look into it, and then I kind of got put off the decision because obviously I hadn't spoken to anyone, but I just read online about, oh, getting it done young, they'll sag again, like if you have kids, and you know, like I want kids, and that was like one of the main things, is like you might as well wait till after you've had kids because they're prone to droop, and there was just so much, and I was like, oh my god, like I don't know what to do, and just times were just getting really hard, and like especially, and I know it sounds really stupid, but it was especially in the summer seasons, like I could just not wear like little tops how my friends would wear little tops. So I'd always have to wear a bra, and the bra would just make these tops really ugly, you know, them tops that just like you wouldn't wear a bra with. And like backless is so me, and I could never ever wear backless tops because Jesus Christ, like it just, no, I'd get bullied for the rest of my life. So more the summer seasons, and then it basically just led up to the point that I'm at now, really. About, I can remember it really clear as day, to be honest. Like my friend had come round, and it was like final year of uni, and like I feel like maybe because the world was reopening again, and I'm a person that travels a lot, I like to travel, and I was thinking, oh my god, the world's reopen again, like I really want to have this done, I want to wear like the bikinis that I've always wanted to wear. It just all started to play on me, and then I basically just took the decision, and I thought, you know what, I'm gonna have a look into this, like seriously, I'm gonna have a look into it. So I had a little research, and there was a lot of sites that just said like you put your name and your details in, and they basically offered a free consultation, or some of them you had to pay for actually. But to be honest, I looked at other places, and I did look at other surgeons, but not to the depth that I went in with my surgeon that I had. I pretty much like, I didn't fall in love with him straight away, but I just knew I felt really comfortable with him and all of this. So obviously after entering, so I had to enter all my details into this website, and then I got a phone call, and the phone call was like the next day, and basically they just said that they had an appointment available next week to see one of the consultants. I didn't know the surgeon at the time. I think they might have said who the surgeon was, to be honest, or the consultant was. And I agreed to go, and that was it. The following week I was at the Spire, and I was having this consultation. Consultation was so like straightforward, it was really, really nice. I was obviously greeted by the surgeon, which I was really happy with, because I know a lot of people in past experience don't actually meet the surgeon. They just kind of meet, I don't know if it's a secretary or nurses, I don't know. They're just not the person you meet straight away, which I think is bizarre, because I want to meet the person who's going to be like, they're the person doing the surgery, so they're the ones who are going to give you the most credible information, if that makes sense. So anyway, I was really pleased with that. Got to meet my surgeon straight away, and in a sense it's like being on Dragon's Den. They're like, they're not trying to sell us. I would say they're selling themselves, yeah, of course they are, because he was like telling me like what he'd done in the past, and like what qualifications he does. He's a researcher in scars and stuff, so obviously he's necessarily the best scarring doctor in a way, and there was just so much to it. And most importantly, like my needs were at the front of hand, and we really got into a discussion of what I wanted. Not the implant, sorry. Like obviously we had a discussion about what I wanted, and I said that I did not want the implants, and he was really comfortable with that. In fact, he said that he wouldn't have done the surgery anyway, because he doesn't think I need it. This is obviously going off when he measured me. They're going to measure you there, by the way, so they take you into like a little small room, they just measure your breasts, and they just see what they're kind of working with, and what they can do, and what's available to you at that time. There's another nurse in the room, by the way, just because he was a male doctor. So anyway, we went back into the other room, and we had the discussion. He even drawed it all out for me, because obviously I think there's about, when you're having a mastopexy, I think that's what it's called, a breast uplift in other terms. And there's like 3 different ways that they can actually do it and cut you, because obviously everyone's breast size is different, everyone's boobs are shaped different, and obviously he was just showing me, I had like an anchor effect, I think it was called. So it's basically just where they incision down like an anchor and then they kind of just like group it all up. I can't explain it, it's madness. It blows my mind today how my boobs look like this right now. So I obviously, he showed me all that, showed me all the drawings, and then there was just no pressure there. There was no pressure. He just basically said to me, I'll send you an email now, or a letter out. It was a letter out actually. I'll send you a letter out. You have a think about it. Here's all the information. If you've got any questions, feel free to contact me, blah blah blah. And that was really it, to be honest. I went and just thought about it, and it kind of just drifted to the back of my head. I asked for the price in there, but they don't actually give you the price in there. He said an estimate. It was not even in that estimate. Let me just put that there for you. So I was obviously waiting for this letter, and this letter never came, and I feel like this is why it kind of got to the back of my head. I was kind of thinking, I've not had this letter. So I like contacted them again, and they were like, oh yeah, it was sent out. And then for like months I didn't get this letter, which was really, really strange. But it wasn't really a priority for me. It kind of like drifted to the back of my head. And then I bought a dress, right? And this is what made me like just lose my shit. I bought a dress, and this dress was stunning, and oh my god, I can actually wear it now. I'm just thinking it's still hanging up and I haven't worn it yet, but I can wear it now. And this dress was like a crop blazer dress, and it had a bit of a cut out bit, and my boobs were in the cut out bit where your abs are supposed to be. Like my boobs were like saggy, they were down there, like 2 eyes poking out. I was just like, I just can't cope with this. Like, I'm into my fashion, I love my fashion, and it's what I want to do in, you know, hopefully in my future. And if I can't wear the stuff that I really desire and I really love, I just thought, like, what is the point? Like, I just got so upset. I had a mental breakdown, basically. By this point, I had received my letter, by the way. So I'd actually had the email. Well, he'd emailed it me in the end, and it had all the pricing on there and everything. And I was a bit put off by the cost. I can't lie. I was like, you know, it's a lot of money. So I ended up having this mental breakdown. I messaged him. And I was like, I want the surgery. And oh my god, guys, I felt like I'd done it in the spur of the moment. I was like, nah, I'm not going to reply for ages. They literally like messaged me like the next day and was like, we've got this date available. And it was literally a month to the date. And I was like, what? In a month's time? I was thinking, oh my god, I've not even got, like, I just felt like I had no time to prepare, no time to plan. I had to think about, you know, like the price, the cost. I needed to get everything sorted, and I was just like, something clicked in my head, and I was like, just do it, just do it, because if you don't do it now, you're never gonna do it. And that was me booked in. I was like, what the actual how? Like, I'm actually having this procedure, and it just felt like a dream come true. I'm not gonna lie. Following from this, just to get like in for you and just to give you the best insight that I possibly can for you, I then had to go for another assessment, and basically that assessment was 2 weeks prior to the surgery, and it was just generally talking about like, do I understand what I'm having? I can't stress how much, and I can't stress how much they not reassure you, but like constantly confirm with you that you know what you're having done. So, do you know what I mean? Because it's such a big procedure. They're constantly just like, you know what you're having done. Can you tell me what you're having done? Can you remember what we told you last time? It's so much information. But they just like, they are really like, they're quite stern on that. Like, they really want you to know what you're having done. So I went in for the pre-assessment. We obviously went over it all over again, and had a bit of an exam with my surgeon, saying like, what you're having done, how are we doing it, no. But it's just to make sure that you know. See, we had all that discussion, and it was very, very short and sweet, to be fair. It was just basically like a checkup, just to be like, are you sure you want to go through with it? Okay, right, see you on the surgery day. That was basically it. Off I went again, thinking, what is going on? Like, I can't even believe this is happening. And it just felt like this was something that just didn't happen to me. Like, this just felt like something that happened to, I know it sounds really bad, but like all the YouTubers I watch, or, you know, like celebs and stuff. It was just crazy that it was happening to me. Like, I literally could cry to this day. Like, I feel so forever grateful. I think obviously the main thing that a lot of people do want to know, and was what I was searching for when I was watching these type of videos, is obviously the price and the cost. So the price and the cost, I'll split it down for you. It was $6,623. So it has gone up considerably since 3 years ago, because I know a lot of people have paid that amount of money for the breast uplift and the implants. So the breast lift is the most expensive part, but that used to be with your implants as well. So it's just crazy how much it has gone up in price. So I paid $6,623 for the uplift. 3,000 was to the hospital, 3,000 was to the surgeon, and then the £6,623 went to the anaesthetist, and that's how it was divided up, and that's how it was split initially. I know there's obviously payment plans with the hospital. It's not directly, you won't go through the surgeon to do the payment plan. No, you have to just sort that out with like this different service at the hospital, or you can even have a look at your own bank. You can get personal loans with really low interest on. So yeah, if you are thinking about it and thinking, oh my god, how do I actually pay for it, then there are options available if you can't do the full amount. So after that little tangent, I don't even know what we discussed then, guys. Like I'm still so like poorly. I decided to do my makeup this morning just to try and make myself feel better, and I feel like it's slowly hitting me. I've got like lights there obviously behind the camera, and I feel like, oh my god, it's killing me off. But obviously the next thing is obviously how to prepare for this surgery if you are thinking about having it done. And what I would just generally say is just, first of all, and most importantly, make sure you're doing it for yourself and only yourself. I'm in no means promoting a boob job or plastic surgery or anything like that. I generally got it done because I had really, really saggy breasts, and if anyone could see my breasts, they'd be like, yeah, you need that done. But yeah, just make sure you're doing it for yourself and only yourself and no one else. Just get that right clear in your head, and that it's something that you really, really want, because it is a very big procedure, and it is a lot on your body, I can't lie. So obviously in terms of like what to take, I generally just packed really lightly. I didn't need a lot at all. You can take pyjamas if you want to take pyjamas, that's absolutely fine, but I never had I took my pyjamas and I never got into them. You're going to be quite uncomfortable after surgery, and it's just so much easier to wear the gown, trust me. So I generally just packed my laptop and stuff, obviously toothbrush, like, you know, just your normal soaps, your toothbrush, toothpaste, just body wash if you want to have a shower and stuff, and yeah, just your normal one night away kind of thing. Just treat it as that, even though it's not that. If you are going to a private hospital though, I can't lie, it does feel like you're going on a night away. I have actually done the whole experience of me before the surgery, going to surgery, staying in the hospital, and then the recovery 3 days later. That's actually on my channel, so I will link it down below if you do want to give that a watch. That was actually filmed about a month ago now, so I am 4 weeks post-op to this surgery, which is absolutely crazy. So I am finally like 2 weeks, I think I'm like 2 weeks away to get in. Well, I can take this bra off now if I want to, but like 2 weeks you can go, I think it's like 6 weeks you can start going into your normal bras and stuff. Just take what you want. Obviously if you want any snacks and stuff as well, I took onion rings, but I did not eat them because I was very wavy and I felt very sick after surgery. But yeah, just take what you think you need. Any like home comforts and stuff, like, yeah, I took my nan's dressing gown just because I like to have that when I'm going into surgery, so I feel like she's there with me. So yeah, just whatever you would take for a one night away. And then obviously preparing for the surgery the night before as well. Just make sure you've well, I don't know if you wanted to do this, but I took pictures of my boobs before, but the surgeon, they do that at the hospital anyway. But you have to stop eating the night before at a certain time, and then you can't stop, no, sorry, you have to stop, well, my surgery was in the afternoon about 3 o'clock, so I had to stop eating about 7 in the morning, and then I couldn't drink anything past 11. So that's just something to bear in mind as well. Make sure you get a good meal in the morning, well, a good breakfast should I say, and then make sure you're drinking plenty of fluids right up until 11. Well, not plenty of fluids, but just make sure you're getting a bit of liquid down you, because you will not be able to drink from then, which was a bit hard, I can't lie. Additionally, just make sure that someone's there to take you to the hospital, because you won't be able to drive back at all. And yeah, just make sure you've got someone who's going to be there looking after you, because you're going to need a lot of help in the next few days of coming out of this surgery. I promise you so much. But other than that, I will just get straight into the recovery. And oh my god, it's not been a straightforward ride for me, and this is why I had to film this video again. So surgery, moderate pain. You come out of surgery, I would say it's quite high up there. It's about an 8, yeah. And then it just really feels, I would say, because obviously you're on so much morphine and codeine and just you're on so many drugs, that you're not necessarily in pain, it's just uncomfortable. You've had a massive operation, and I would just say that it's just uncomfortable. Like, it feels like you've got a massive weight on you. I don't know if this is for like what other doctors do, but I had these boxes on me that actually sucked the stitches together. So they were like little boxes that went here. If I've got a photo, I'll pop it up. And I was adamant they were drains. I was like, hi, I was like, I've got drains in, I don't want my drains out. I'd never had any drains in at all. So they were just bandages that basically like sucked really hard, and it basically just helps the scarring to heal really, really well. My right boob has been amazing. Oh, the scarring on that is brilliant, and the left one is really, really good, but I've had a bit of problems with this left boob because they did a bit more work on it, but I will get into it. The first week, obviously I come out of hospital, it's just, you can't really sleep, you can't lie down and sleep. That's one thing to bear in mind. You kind of have to sleep on an upright. You're on a lot of medication, very strong medication. I came off it after 3 days just because it was making me really, really sick. But then I would say from then that I didn't need the medication. I think when you have an implant, it's a lot more painful, but because it was just like a breast uplift, the pain was very moderate. I would just say it felt like having a bad period. You know when you get that boob ache? And it wasn't intensely at the same time. Like, it was literally just like now and then I'd just get like a dull ache, and it just felt, oh, that was all it was. With myself, I could shower, but I would just suggest that you have someone help you shower, because it was very hard to like lift my arms and stuff. So a lot of the times I just had my boyfriend help me shower. So just make sure you've got someone there that can just help you. You really do need someone to be there after this surgery, and you just need to rest. And that's what I'll get on to now. Because you're numb down there, you kind of feel like you're back to normal, in my sense. I was that numb, I just felt like I could do what I wanted and kind of forget that, you know, I've had a big operation. So I started cleaning, and I started just, you know, pottering around, and I started to, so basically, because it's an anchor and the T-junctions are really hard to like seal together, and a lot of people, apparently this is very common, and this is why I wanted to do this video and just let you guys know, because if you do have this problem, I've been there and it's okay, like it's normal, because I was having an absolute panic attack. And I got a bit of spotting of blood, so I obviously rang the hospital, and it didn't really stop. It was just like specks though. Went back to the hospital. They put like more bandages on just to like dry out the blood, and that was kind of it. And they were like, rest, blah blah. Obviously came back doing whatever I did, because you just feel so normal, it's unreal. And then I got a lot of bleeding, and guys, I meant like, I thought I was bleeding out, and I'm probably exaggerating, but honestly it was so scary. I got a lot of bleeding. And basically I had that much bruising on the boob. Apparently fluid builds up and it needs to get out, and that was its way of coming out. And I was telling out so much blood. I felt really faint. I felt awful, and this was not even that long ago, it was about a week ago. So I ended up having to go back to the hospital, and they basically put the boxes back on, and I basically went back to square one. I'm absolutely fine now, the boxes are all off, but it was just a bit of a note to self, like, please don't do what I did and go back to normal and think you're okay. Like, make sure you get plenty of rest, because you'll end up doing what I did, and just try not to reach, because I think I did it by reaching up to get a coat or something. But yeah, that can generally just happen, and apparently it's really common. They seem to think that it wasn't because I was doing a lot. They just think that I was bruising that much that, you know, it just come out, and it was no one's fault. But what I can actually say about the Spire Hospital as well is that they are so good with just, there's basically a phone line that they give you. You ring it straight away, someone answers, and like they literally see to you like ASAP. They'll like sort you out immediately, and I think that's obviously because you pay private. But I can't even understand like how fast I was back into hospital or got a next appointment, or like it was just so good, and the service that they give you was absolutely phenomenal. So that's what I can say about going private, lovelies. It's, yeah, it's a bit of a dream, and they get seen to you straight away. So I'm obviously now 4 weeks post-op, and all I can say is obviously with the recovery, it is very straightforward. There's moderate pain, but you just have to be so careful, and you just got to make sure you've got people looking after you. And you know what? Rinse the fuck out of it, gals. Just rinse it, because when are you going to be able to get treated like this again? Trust me. Just make sure you're looking after yourself. And honestly, all I can say is the recovery is quite straightforward. Obviously, I've had a bit of problem, but if you ever do encounter it, then please, like, just, this is very common, and the surgeon did advise that it was a very common thing, and it is quite hard for the T-junctions to heal, as well as obviously the other stitches. The stitches are dissolvable, so you haven't got to worry about getting them out or anything, which is always a bonus. They naturally just dissolve with your own skin moisture, and it just means that I feel like they just heal a lot better, to be honest, when they're dissolvable. I think they stitch from the inside. It's quite bizarre, to be fair, how they do this. Like, it's actually crazy. So buzzing to just be able to not wear a bra anymore, and just, you know, have the boobs that I've always wanted to have. I am just so over the moon, and I can't even recommend the Spire Hospital enough. I am so pleased. The results are absolutely phenomenal. It's just gobsmacked me. My boobs are completely different, like completely different. Like, my nipples are small, and they're just like here, and oh, I can actually cry. And my surgeon is phenomenal. So nice. And obviously, like I said, I've had to go into hospital so many times, and I can't lie, I was quite worried. I was thinking, oh, he's gonna shout at me, but they're not like that at all. They were like, don't be a stranger, you know, we're here for absolutely anything. The door is always open. Even the nurses at the breast clinic are absolutely phenomenal. They've been seeing me the last few times, had my bandages changed, and they've been absolutely amazing. I think I've obviously not rambled too much, and I hope I've got everything in on this video. I do feel like there's things that I've missed, so please feel free to just message me anything you want, and I'll answer it as fully as I can. While I did put something on my Instagram, if there was any questions that you guys had that I was filming this video, and a few of you did ask about risks. So there are risks with this surgery, unfortunately, and it doesn't mean to say that they've happened, but one of the main risks is that you could, it's never happened, I don't think it's ever happened, it's not happened to my surgeon anyway. No, it wouldn't happen to him, would it? But I mean, like, my surgeon was very reassuring that it's never happened to any of his clients. So with obviously this surgery, I feel like you're messing with the nervous system, or your nerve ends. I don't know, I'm not a doctor, I'm so sorry. Someone's gonna be here like, girl, what are you even on about? But you've got a risk of losing the nipple, which can be quite frightening, and I was a bit like, oh my god, no. But it's never happened, and touch wood, my nipples are fine. I can't feel my nipples, that's another risk, and that's happened. I can't feel my nipples, but there is a good chance of that sensation coming back. What I would also say is, as well, is where they've done the stitches, that's quite numb as well. I can't really feel there, but that's not really anything to be bothered about. But yeah, I'm not too bothered about nipple stimulation anyway, so it's not really something that put me off massively, but it could be to some people, I don't know. But there is a chance of that coming back, and I know someone who's had the same procedure as me, and they've actually got their nipple feeling back now, so it's proven. There is a fat chance that I could get my nipple sensitivity back. Someone said to me, why don't you go get your nipples pierced while you can't feel it? And I was thinking, that is such a good idea, but I just don't want to risk anything happening to my nipples, because knowing me, I'd have my nipple pierced and it'd bloody fall off. Someone else asked about obviously having kids, and then I think I touched on this early on in the video, having kids and then obviously your breasts sagging and stuff. So I don't know why I didn't touch on that at the time, actually. So obviously that was one of my main concerns, to be honest, and I was saying it to my surgeon. I was speaking to him about it, and he was adamant that that was not going to be the case. So he said to me that there was nothing to worry about, that my boobs would not ever sag to that extent again. Obviously over time my boobs are naturally going to sag like anyone else's, definitely. Like you might have the procedure again or whatever, but I was more my main focus is that I want to wear the stuff that I want to wear now. I'm not bothered when I'm a bit older, and I'm not going to be wearing little crop tops when I'm like 40, am I? Or 50. So like now is my prime, as I say, and that's why I kind of wanted it done now. And with him reassuring me that they weren't going to sag ever to the extent that they were at, and pregnancy shouldn't really be a problem, then that really assured me. So answering that question, my surgeon said that was not going to happen. So so that was that. And then obviously going on to obviously kids and stuff, you can't breastfeed, so that's another risk. So you can't well, it's not a risk, it's a fact. You can't breastfeed, and I think maybe that's probably why they wouldn't sag after kids, because obviously you're not producing milk. I don't know, don't quote me on that, I really don't know, but this was my thought in my head. I think maybe because obviously you can't breastfeed, your body may not or may produce milk. I don't know, because that's one of the reasons you sag, don't you? Because obviously your boobs go really big from the milk being produced, and then obviously they go smaller again, so that's where you get the sagginess from. But maybe that's why. Obviously someone asked about the payment, and I've already touched on that. Obviously you can pay all up front, or obviously you can do payment plans. My recommendation to a lot of people is to probably get to your bank and do a personal loan if you can't afford to pay it full price, because you're going to get a better interest rate. I feel like the hospital's interest rate may be a bit higher. I think it may be at 9%, I really don't know. And obviously the last, and I think is probably a lot of people's concerns, and a lot of people have asked about this, is obviously the scarring. And I know someone who's had obviously the breast uplift, and their scarring's fucking amazing. Like, I can't even explain how good their scarring is. You can't even tell they've had the breast uplift. My scarring at the minute is very minimal. Like, I can't even explain like how well it's healed on the one boob. Let me just show you what I'm eating. So I've got obviously my bra on at the minute, but if you can see here, that's basically the scarring at the minute. This one's the bad boob, by the way. You can see all the bruising here, but yeah, that's basically the scarring without showing you too much. So I would not have anything to worry about with the scarring, to be honest. After time, it's obviously going to look a lot better. And there's obviously things that you can have to help. So you can obviously use bio oil, and anything that you really want. Or I don't know what the doctors recommended to me, actually. I'll have to try and find out. If I remember, I'll pop it in down below in the description. But I have just literally, I've not used any scarring stuff yet, just because I've only had my bandages off and my tapes off. So I will probably just start using bio oil, because I just know that is really good. So yeah, in terms of scarring, there's nothing to worry about. It's very minimal, and you're going to get the best result anyway from your boobs looking absolutely amazing. Back to work, a lot of people had a look at my boobs, because obviously they was interested. And they were like gobsmacked at the scarring. They were thinking, oh my god, they thought I was going to have this massive like incision. And I was like, it's just not the case anymore. What these doctors can do are phenomenal. And if you're interested in going with my surgeon, then his name is Mr. Duncan. He's at the Spire Hospital in Manchester. I can't recommend this gentleman enough. He's absolutely changed my life. He's made my confidence go through the absolute roof with my boobs. And I'm just so grateful and so thankful that I've done this, and I'm so forever grateful that I've been able to do this. So I am going to wrap this video up, guys. I really hope I have not rambled too much. I know I definitely have. My brain's just a bit of fog, to be honest, but if you do have absolutely any questions, and if I have missed something, because I probably have, there's just so much gone on in the last month, then definitely drop it in the comments, or even DM me on the Instagram. You can find my Instagram in the bio. But if you did enjoy this video, then please don't forget to give it a like and subscribe to my channel. And if you're still here with me now, then thank you so much. I've got so much love for you all. But yeah, I will see you very soon for a brand new video. Bye!